People dancing back to back, dancing to this sweet and home sound. Everybody's getting down. Party in the backyard. Whoa, party all night long. Whoa, break and scrape until the morning come. We're gonna party till the break of dawn. Jumbo. Whoa, whoa. Play it again. Whoa. Look here. This woman got me hooked.
Tonight, a woman murdered in a triple shooting. We've got the latest on this. This as police also find a massive drug and ammunition seizure. And later, it's the latest from the political arena. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janaea Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, the country's latest shooting incident claiming the life of a woman and also leaving two others, including a juvenile, injured. The family of the victim saying they do not believe she was the intended target. Our Lyndon Ritchie Jr. has the details in this report tonight.
I only see my daughter just in a pool of blood on the porch. That hurt me bad. That hurt me.
A sight no father should ever see. Ishmael Culmer heard the sounds of gunshots on John Terrace off of Wolf Road, and moments later, his life switched in the blink of an eye as he learned his daughter, 26-year-old Ishnika Culmer, was shot to death by gunmen. A 21-year-old female and juvenile male, too, found themselves injured. Authorities say the two perpetrators, clad in dark clothing, ambushed the residents from a southern direction, opened fire, and fled on foot in an unknown area. Moments after his daughter's lifeless body was wheeled away, just days before her birthday, Culmer says he does not believe she was the target in the barrage of bullets.
She was in the kind of person, she was a very humble child. She always stayed herself, helping my mom out with everything.
The young entrepreneur had her eyes set on turning a new chapter and expanding her cosmetology career, and her father says he's only left with the memories of their final conversation.
Daddy, my birthday coming up. I said, I know, baby, you got the birthday cake for you. I said, I got that for you.
For the men responsible, police say boots are on the ground.
We're asking anyone with any information to please contact the police to assist us in investigating this matter and bringing justice to the family.
The female and juvenile male injured are both listed in stable condition as Culmer's murder marked the 42nd of the year. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, shortly after the country's latest murder, which claimed the life of that adult woman off of Wolf Road, theories began to circulate on if the victim was the intended target, as family members believe she was not. Eyewitness News also questioning the Assistant Commissioner Anton Ramming, who has oversight on crime on policing. He confirmed that it was a case of mistaken identity.
We are unable to confirm that. There are certain avenues that we are looking at this time. Several of them, in fact, and so we will see where that takes us as we investigate.
Tragedy striking Andros on Sunday night as police responded to a fatal traffic collision that left one man dead and another fighting for his life. It was shortly after 9 p.m. Officers arrived at the grim scene of a two-vehicle crash. There, they discovered two male victims, both from the same vehicle, suffering injuries from the wreckage. Despite the swift arrival of emergency medical services, one of the men reportedly succumbed on scene. He was pronounced dead by medical personnel. The second man, clinging to life, he was rushed to the local clinic before being airlifted to New Providence for advanced medical treatment. His current condition remains unknown at this time, casting a shadow of uncertainty over an already devastating event, while authorities continue to investigate the circumstances surrounding this heartbreaking incident. Meantime, a 52-year-old man granted bail on Friday after he was accused of molesting his step-granddaughter twice in the last 6 months. The accused, whose name is being withheld to protect the identity of the alleged minor, was arraigned on 2 counts of indecent assault before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vaught Evans. Prosecutors allege that between April 1st and 30th, the defendant touched the girl's breast and privates in a residence here in New Providence. The defendant is accused of groping the young girl again on May 31st. While the man pleaded not guilty to the charge, he was granted $9,000 bail with one or two sureties. As a part of his bail conditions, the defendant was ordered not to contact the complainant or any witnesses in the case. He must sign in at the Elizabeth Estates Police Station on the last Sunday of each month and will be outfitted with an electronic monitoring device. The defendant's trial begins on July 14th. Inspector Coakley served as the prosecutor while Alfonso Lewis represented the accused in that case. Well, it's a massive win for authorities tonight as a tip led investigators to a grand drug and firearm shipment imported from abroad. And as police continue to have their hands tied with crime, they say it's one step closer to ceasing the gunfire. Lyndon Ritchie Jr. has the details on this.
We got your guns, we have your marijuana, we have your ammunition, and my team will now be coming to look for you.
What you're looking at is tightly packaged marijuana totaling some $190,400 along with 25 weapons and over 5,000 rounds of ammunition. All of it bagged and hidden in a number of household appliances now uncovered by authorities in a sting operation. Police, in collaboration with the Bahamas Customs Department, reported that a vehicle carrying the illegal drugs and firearms was intercepted in the Western District. Where the contraband came from and how it was shipped is still under investigation. Police say they're remaining tight-lipped for now. Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles outlining just how dangerous of a shipment these clever criminals were hoping to move.
2 of them are revolvers, 11 of them are pistols, one of which is a ghost gun. 12 of them are rifles, 9 of which are ghost guns, 29 magazines.
And with these weapons now out of the hands of those who contribute to bloodshed, the top cop had this message for Bahamians.
We are out there working. We're working every bit of information that the public shares with us. And this is what happens when we have partnership with the public.
Officials say they do have a clear idea of who they're looking for in connection with the bust, but their identities will be revealed at a later date. Lyndon Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, following the fallout of Silver Airways, a new flight option now available for travelers heading to Abaco. Florida-based Aztec Airways has officially launched a daily nonstop service between Fort Lauderdale and Marsh Harbor, a move expected to boost tourism and ease access to the Family Islands. The flights depart from the airline's private terminal at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, landing directly at the Leonard M. Thompson International Airport in Marsh Harbor. Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism Minister Chester Cooper calling this service a game changer, noting that it will streamline travel for guests while driving investment and economic growth for the island. He's also praising the airline's commitment to expanding access to the Out Islands, saying, "We warmly welcome this enhanced partnership, which truly elevates the traveler experience." Meantime, Latia Duncombe, the Director General of the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, emphasizing the importance of the new route in the context of the country's broader tourism strategy. She says our latest campaign proudly declares it's not one island, it's a lifetime of them, a message designed to inspire visitors to fully embrace the unparalleled diversity of experiences the Bahamas offers. Now, Aztec Airways' expanded service will now enable even more travelers to discover the unique beauty of the Abacos, including the world-renowned fishing and exceptional boating opportunities, making it easier than ever to begin a lifetime of Bahamian adventures. On to news from politics tonight, with questions swirling about the political future of former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis. Speculation is mounting tonight over what's next. Our Laurencia Smith joining me live in studio with the latest on this. Laurencia?
Yes, Shania, the political windmill is picking up speed. Former Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Killarney, Dr. Hubert Minnis, is making it clear that he intends to be on the ballot in the next general election. Whether as an independent or under a party banner, that is still left to be determined. Over the weekend, Killarney's Member of Parliament, Dr. Hubert Minnis, officially launched the Killarney Strong Movement, a community-focused campaign, he says, aimed at mobilizing support and reconnecting with residents. The event drew some political heavyweights, including former Deputy Prime Minister Desmond Bannister and former Minister Branville McCartney. Dr. Minnis also unveiled a new initiative he intends to introduce to his community. Community, a digital local government platform designed to let residents flag issues like potholes and infrastructural problems in real time.
Send us a GPS marking to the office. The office would obviously be strengthened, and then the office would communicate with the relevant authority to have it repaired and fixed to whatever is necessary. And at the same time, we communicate with the residents who are facing the problem and keep them abreast as to the progress on.
The longtime Killarney MP says he remains committed to the constituency he's represented for nearly 2 decades, a seat once seen as a safe F&M stronghold, now considered a potential battleground.
And I have no doubt that I'll win the constituency. I have no doubt that I would win, and we will keep Killarney strong and make Killarney even stronger, and make Killarney the role model of constituencies within the Bahamas.
But while Minnis is declaring his intentions to run, the F&M has made its position clear. Party leader Michael Pintard confirmed that Dr. Minnis will not be renominated on the F&M ticket. The party unveiled 17 candidates last Thursday, a mixture of returning politicians and fresh faces, some of them running under the Minnis leadership in the last election.
I have not looked at the slate, to be honest with you. Many of them I don't know. Many of them I don't know. So I've not analyzed or tried to look at individuals, their background, what they would bring, etc. I have not analyzed that.
When asked if he was consulted on the new slate, Minnis said no. And when pressed on whether he feels sidelined by his own party, he offered this response.
History would speak for itself. History would speak for itself. I told you previously that I was not allowed to speak at any F&M events, at any association meetings, etc.
Now, Janaea, as we head into the next general election, all eyes will be closely watching to see what direction the veteran politician and former prime minister decides to do. Live in studio, I'm Laurencia Smith. Back to you at the desk, Janaea.
Thanks, Laurencia. Well, still talking politics tonight. A political hopeful who was not successful in his attempt to be a candidate for a constituency here in New Providence. He's speaking out tonight, suggesting that the party's selection isn't sitting well with potential voters, and most importantly, party insiders in the area who feel as though their say was disregarded. Our Jose Etienne takes it from here.
Former Senator Jamal Moss isn't holding back days after the Free National Movement ratified Senator Darren Hinfield as its candidate for South Beach.
I felt as though I'm a better person. I felt as though I would be the better person for the job, but like I said, the party made a decision.
Moss had been eyeing that constituency for some time, hoping to be the party's pick for the next general election. But those hopes were shut down Thursday night when the F&M announced its first slate of candidates.
I felt hurt. I'm not going to deny it. I felt hurt.
To make matters worse, reports suggest that the party's South Beach Constituency Association was blindsided by the move. Executives there were reportedly backing Moss and expected the party to follow their lead.
They were shocked by it, especially knowing that you work the area. You get to know the persons in the constituency, listening to their concerns, putting together plans and visions that you would like to do for the area.
The fallout is the latest sign of growing tension between constituency associations and F&M executives on who should represent the party on the ground. Similar rifts have been reported in Killarney, where association members are still pushing for former Prime Minister Dr. Eyewitness to return as their member of parliament.
I sit on the executive, and so the party has listened to other constituencies at Senate AM. Sometimes you go forward with this person or you go forward with that person. So it's a delicate situation.
Meanwhile, Henfield is making a political shift of his own, this time vying to represent a constituency in New Providence after previously serving as MP for North Abaco. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, as you heard, the Free National Movement recently announcing its first 17 candidates for the upcoming general election. Noticeably absent from the list was a Killarney Member of Parliament, Dr. Eyewitness, and former Senator Jamal Moss. It's a move that sparked conversation among supporters. Eyewitness News turning to social media, posing the question, do you believe the F&M made the right decision by not including Dr. Minnis and Mr. Moss in its candidate slate? Now, 43% of you that participated voted yes, they supported the decision of the party, while 57% voted no, I disagree. Continue to support and participate in our Eyewitness News daily digital polls. While the former Free National Movement Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, responding to the party's recent release of its first set of candidates to represent the FNM in the upcoming general election. Lewis changing his allegiance and giving the Coalition of Independents a seat in Parliament back in April after he emphasized them going where I'm wanted, not tolerated, end quote. Lewis making it clear why voters should break the stigma of thinking it's only a choice between two parties.
Well, it was not my decision. It was not my decision. It was the party's council decision, and if they're happy with their decision, we have to accept that. I'm with the COI, so obviously I'm going to campaign for people to support the COI. So obviously this is the place to be. This is the party for you. This is the party where real change is going to take place. That is why I cross over, and I'm now here with a party that's going to fight for the people.
Meantime, a sitting member of parliament on the governing side revealing his intentions to run in that same constituency that helped him to jumpstart his political career, and he's hoping for a victory despite mounting pressures from opponents who also say they have a point to prove. Jose Etienne has the latest on this.
The Pinewood constituency could be shifting into a political battlefield soon, as its incumbent member of parliament, Miles LaRota, is hoping to stay in the seat.
I plan to throw my hat in the race again.
While the opposition Free National Movement has yet to reveal its candidate pick for LaRota's constituency, Coalition of Independents leader Lincoln Bain also has his sights set on Pinewood, with hopes of getting over the hump and handing LaRota a crushing defeat in the next general election. But LaRota doesn't seem fazed about Bain's political ambitions.
Mr. Bain can speak for himself. I'm concerned with Miles LaRota. It's my belief that the PLP winning at the polls next year would be based on what we have done.
But for detractors who don't believe the political newcomer has a shot at winning, LaRota says his track record speaks for itself, and he's leaving it up for the electorate in Pinewood to decide.
Let's talk about the two basketball courts that have been restored. Let's talk about the fact that I've worked with all 10 of the churches in Pinewood and have given multiple contributions for their ministry. Let's talk about, in the not too distant future, that we'll be having a 15,000 square foot community center, and not to mention, in this line item, the government has set aside $20 million for drain remediation.
Now it remains to be seen who the FNM will put as the face of the party in Pinewood, a constituency that seemingly hasn't shown any sense of loyalty to any political party since 2002. And while the history books show that both PLP and FNM candidates have had their time, the numbers in the country's last general election show that Bain was arguably a force to be reckoned with, although he was not voted in. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
On to some other news tonight. EV Motors has a brand new car on its lot. It officially expanded. It's making the Bahamas the 68th country to welcome this new automotive name. Our Laurencia Smith has the details in this report.
We're not just here to bring cars that keep up with the world. This brand is here to lead.
That's EV Motors owner, His Excellency Sebastian Bastian, highlighting what the new Jatour lineup brings to the table. The automotive company recently introduced the brand, its fifth major addition to a growing portfolio. Models now on the EV Motor lot include the 2026 T1, T2, XL70 FL, and Dashing. General Manager Donovan Clue notes that the T2 is the flagship model, offering both gasoline and hybrid options.
X-wheel drive, which is an intelligent four-wheel drive system. The vehicle also, which is very important to highlight, is in Jetour brands, is the ADAS, which is your advanced driver's assistance systems that it has in the vehicle for collision avoidance.
Meanwhile, the T1, XL70 FL, and Dashing models will be gasoline powered only.
It comes with a 7-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty. That is the best warranty in the Bahamas. I think it shows the faith that the manufacturer has and that we have in the brand to offer that type of warranty.
The official launch taking place on Saturday past at the Old Fort Bay Clubhouse, where EV Motors introduced the new brand to hundreds of guests.
It was a great a great showing, and I'm really interested in getting one of these. I know I said that the last time, but this might be just the one I get.
With the starting price as low as $27,900, Jator offers Bahamians a bold new choice in premium driving without the premium price tag, according to His Excellency Bastian.
I think the Bahamian consumers deserve affordable luxury. They deserve a brand that represents their bold curiosity, their existence, and Jator offers all of that.
EV Motors officials say that they're committed to efficiency and innovation and providing the best products for Bahamian motorists. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Laurencia. Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Ion News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight. But when we come back, the Social Services Minister speaking to that death of a toddler in a house fire. We've got the details coming up. And later, how is those in the beauty industry wrestling with inflation? We've got more on that right after this break.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Hi, I know you weren't expecting to see me here. Now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. It's true. Come on in.
Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
Happy Independence Bahamas! Let's celebrate 50 plus together with a unique Janae's Uniform Center Independence print, dry fit polo or t-shirts, ribbons and pole bows in black, gold, and aquamarine. Janae's special family package includes buy 2 adults and 3 children Independence polos or t-shirts and get 15% off. Outfit your staff for a special Independence dress of week or day with a different design. For more than 30 pieces of Janae's Independence polos or t-shirts, get up to 25% discount. Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road Independence Selections. Choose your favorite and celebrate 50 plus. Restrictions apply.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3 Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3 Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3 Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors. It's your last chance to get behind the wheel and drive the evolution. Secure the Toyota BZ4X, Mercedes-Benz EQB 260, Carry Cargo Van, or Carry Elephant X7 truck, with prices starting as low as $309.88 per month. Hurry, before they're gone. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Esso, $5.39. Shell coming in at $5.46. Rubis, $5.48. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, days after Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles revealing that a recent house fire that killed a 5-year-old boy may have been sparked by a portable stove that was in the bedroom, that conversation has shifted on who should be held responsible and accountable for what many see as an act of negligence that also left the victim's siblings grappling with burn injuries. Police initially revealing that the tragic incident happened while the mother went to a government agency and left the children in a relative's care. Now, previous matters similar to this have seen parents and other guardians charged with manslaughter by negligence. In this case, though, it remains to be seen what will happen to the guardians involved. Social Services Minister Miles Rhoda believes residents shouldn't be so quick to condemn, but should instead focus on the lessons that could be learned.
We live in a society where we ask for accountability. There's always blame. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. I could tell you in my campaigning, it is not uncommon to go into apartments where there are portable stoves there. That's it. That's the reality for some people. There's if you know the fuel that is being sold in the food store, that's a big ticket item. There are individuals who that is all they have for right now. And so to just say having a portable stove in itself is not a situation that we should sound the alarm for. I don't want to say anything until all the facts is out, but to admonish individuals who may have those devices in their homes to pay attention and to be cautious, especially when young kids are around.
And the Davis administration receiving a $100 million loan to support energy sector reform in the country. This as government is trying to remove the country's power company off of life support due to outdated equipment and a lingering debt. The loan is being facilitated by the CAF Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean, and it's expected that the improved resources will support government's national energy policy, which highlights the regulatory framework, modernizing infrastructure, promoting renewable energy, and improving energy efficiency. It comes as government has seemingly made strides as it relates to its energy reform agenda. A number of independent power producers have been selected to provide electricity throughout the country. Since unveiling its energy platform plans, government also revealed collaborative plans with local and international partners, including Shell, North America, Focal, and Pike Corporation, all in an effort to transport both generation and transmission and distribution systems throughout the country. Well, as inflation continues to place financial pressures on businesses across the country, the beauty industry is also feeling the pinch. Owners say the costs of products and services have skyrocketed and many are just trying to stay afloat. Our Delano Roker has the details tonight.
From hair products to salon equipment, the price of doing business is going up. Golden Touch Barbershop owner Garvin Bernard and Color Me Beauty owner Shanae Smith say inflation is making it hard to keep their doors open.
When I first started cutting hair, alcohol was basically about $1.50, $2 a bottle. Alcohol now costing you almost $5 for a bottle of alcohol. Clipper side went up probably about $7 or $8. The price of blades for your clippers has gone up drastically, basically doubled since COVID. I guess that would affect that, but the price never went back down. So everything, the price of everything is basically up.
Duty on makeup products right now is a lot.
these makeup products, just one concealer can cost you $45. You have to order these things, clear it, and plus pay the shipping company for bringing it. So that's basically, you're not making no profit.
And as the costs continue to climb, owners say customers are cutting back, leaving their bottom line to take a hit.
I had to increase my prices, and I didn't have pushback from, I'll say about 99% of my customers didn't have a pushback on it because they understood. But you still always have that 1% who always got, some kind of feedback as to why. And then you got to explain it and break it down to them, and then they tend to understand the reasoning why you got to go up on your prices.
I saw a little drop with clients booking, actually, because my price is more than other, because the beauty industry is big. Everyone doing makeup.
But it's not just the cost of products. They say the industry is now overly saturated, and rental spaces can run as high as $1,600 a month.
Since I was in this vicinity cutting hair, we had 2 barbershops primarily. So now between, I'll say, the space of 100 feet, we now have about 5 barbershops. So people tend to go wherever is more convenient for them at that point in time.
So I started renting. I wasn't seeing much profit as I used to from home, but I compromised it and I just let it work because it's something I really want to do. So I can't let me paying a high rent affect me. I just have to push myself out there to get more clients to come in.
Still, amid the struggle, Wax by SD Babe owner Ariel Smith is urging beauty bosses to be mindful of how they do their pricing.
Once you communicate with your clients and your customers, you let them know that, hey, due to so-and-so, you give them the reason on why something is going up. Persons understand. You just don't jump into, okay, today something was $50 and you jumped to $100.
Delana Roker, Eyewitness News.
And as inflation continues to rise internationally, the CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Dr. Leo Roll, says the chamber has also seen a slow increase. Roll says that while consumers often find fault with rising prices, business owners have to find avenues to offset inflation on business services.
We did a study with one of our members, and over the course of a year, the same products from the same supplier had increased, nominal though it was an increase nonetheless, and had increased 4 times within that 1 year period. Think about inflationary pressures that a business has to incur. Those have to be passed on to the consumer in a creative way. Now, businesses can do it in one of 2 ways. One, they can diversify their where they procure their goods and services, and what that means is if I were using company A, but I found it in company B cheaper, while it may take longer to get it in some instances, they may want to do that as long as it doesn't encumber the quality of the product. That's one aspect. They can also look at their pricing mechanism, because some businesses may be pricing using competitor pricing, which is around the same cost as their competitor, when they really should be using perhaps penetration pricing or premium pricing or psychological pricing.
Now, Dr. Roll says he also believes that there are solutions that can help ease the burden on businesses. He says there are some key steps that could lower costs for owners, offering them some relief.
But also looking at avenues that they can, cost savings mechanisms, whether it be through energy, whether it be through, you may have a storefront and you may not need a storefront. You may be better suited to be mobile, or you may do a sharing mechanism where both of us are sharing this one location and we get to split the rent, split the cost, so that I don't have to increase the cost of my goods and services to my consumers. But then you also have to be astute as a business owner, and what that means is knowing your cash burn rate, knowing your inventory turnover rate. So how long does it take the inventory from the day I get it to turnover? Knowing your break-even point, because that's important. You then understand, well, I need to sell X amount of products in order to break even. And once I get to that break even point, I need to sell Y products in order to make a profit.
Well, a new apprenticeship program now in motion targeting skills development, job readiness, and economic inclusion for young Bahamians. The National Apprenticeship Program, launched by the Ministry of Labor and Public Service in partnership with the National Training Agency, officially entering its pilot phase this week. Executive Director Michelle Malcolm says the program is designed to support youth as they make the often difficult leap from school to the workplace.
Youth unemployment is a serious concern of ours here in the Bahamas, and this program provides an excellent opportunity to help to bridge the gap between leaving school and entering into the workforce. And so programs like this, we hope, will one day get to the point where it has such national relevance that you're looking at, say, at the level of an NIB. We're really hopeful that this will change the trajectory of the nation, not just in terms of providing skilled laborers, but also helping to direct the paths of our young people.
The National Training Agency is leading the implementation, connecting apprentice with real-world placements in construction and maritime, the two sectors that were chosen for the pilot. Apprentice Christian Bethel says the opportunity speaks directly to an issue many young men face, and that's limited access to career-building programs and also mentorship.
Especially when it comes to young men, there's already a negative connotation to a lot of Bahamian young men in today's society, and you honestly don't have much people, companies, looking to invest in them, especially if you take me, for example, dreadlocks and tattoos. It's already a negative connotation to me. So to have a program that focuses on preparing young people, not just for a job, but preparing them for a career, I think that is phenomenal. Quite phenomenal, because from experience, you don't have much people, it seems, or organizations that seem to care about the youths.
Well, still to come in Eyewitness News tonight, residents weigh in on the National Day of Prayer as the nation prepares to celebrate over 5 decades of independence. We've got that story, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Stop, man, stop. Boy, it's hot today, boy. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's snowing. I can cool off, man.
Where you going? Get back here. Don't go in there.
I get inside there.
So I can cook whatever you want tonight. Where you going?
You gonna do what?
I can cook whatever tonight.
I forget you can't cook.
Step out the heat and enter Skypole. Expert installation, cool comfort, and reliable service. Brought to you by Discount AC and Supplies. Your one-stop shop for top-tier AC units.
I want Bahama Grill when I get hungry. Call us at 356-4745. Barbecue pork ribs or baby back and the beef brisket. You got to try that. Add mac and cheese, potato salad, plantain and rice. I go too. Call 356-4745. I want Bahama Grill, morning, noon, or night. Donkey Kong Coke, grill or fry some soup and snapper. Fresh veg, green salad, even roast corn. Once you visit Bahama Grill, you want to come back.
We're back! Playhouse and Sound Investment presents your Back to the 90s Volume 11, July 12th at Breezers. From Volume 1 to Volume 10, Playhouse brings to you the most anticipated Back to the 90s party yet. July 12th at Breezers. Party with some of your favorite Playhouse DJs, Big L, AI, Pressure, alongside Extra Large and DJ Tank with special guest DJs like Tiny. Hosted by yours truly, Joe Cools, and my brother, DJ Bravo. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Rock the night away with Reggie Snapper, performing live, Kimbo King, modeling, and so much more. Early bird tickets are limited. Get yours today. Tickets available. Cash and Go, Tropics, On the Bay, and any of your favorite Playhouse DJs. For tables or Skybox, contacts 819-2900. Playhouse, back to the 90s. Sponsored by Sound Investment, Guinness, Hennessy, Paradise Games, Tropics on the Bay, Cash and Go, and Alive.
Dreaming of the bright lights and non-stop energy of Tokyo this September? Your Scotiabank credit card could take you there. Spend $350 Bahamian dollars or more on your current card, or activate and use a new one for your chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip for you and a guest to Tokyo, Japan. 5 days, 4 nights. Tokyo's waiting. Start tapping today. Promotion runs from May 19th to July 7th.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods, taste the difference.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Well, designated as a day of spiritual focus on the national calendar, the National Prayer Day prompting expressions of hope and encouragement from Bahamians across the various communities. We have more tonight from our intern, Layla Sands.
Be blessed, Bahamas. Happy Independence Day.
With independence just days away, Bahamians across the country pause to reflect, offering prayers and encouragement on National Prayer Day, a moment rooted in faith, unity, and hope for the future. In a separate interview with Eyewitness News, Pastor Mario Moxie says the tradition of prayer remains vital to the country's spiritual foundation.
Prayer is not just a national tradition, it's a national necessity. Our country was birthed in prayer, and this day reminds us of a profound truth. We cannot finish in the flesh what God began in the spirit.
On the streets, members of the public echo that sentiment, lifting up the nation through personal prayers and declarations.
My prayer is that going into our 52nd year, we will stand strong as a nation, we will be there for one another, and no matter what happens, we will always trust in the Lord.
Another voice calls for the country's young men to walk boldly in purpose and in faith.
That young man can achieve the gift that was given to them by Almighty God in doing positive things. Stop the violence, stop the crime.
With voices lifted across islands and communities, National Prayer Day serves as a reminder that before celebration, there is reverence. Layla Sands, Eyewitness News.
Meantime, the Member of Parliament for Garden Hills, Mario Bolag, partnering with members of the religious community in his constituency on Sunday past for a community cleanup initiative, stressing that cleanliness is next to godliness. For Bolag, he says it's just one of the ways to connect with those looking to make a positive impact in the area.
From the original initiative, if you look at my blueprint as relates to the things we wanted to do in Garden Hills, one of the things was the partnership with the churches within our community to ensure we do outreach initiatives to really touch and feel the people so that they can feel us, not just us, but also partner with the churches, because that's also the job of the church. And as you can see, this church here just recently moved in Garden Hills. The World Outreach Ministry Church of God is now here in the Garden Hills community. It's one of the newest churches joined the community, and we're just happy to partnership with them to do a cleanup on this beautiful Sunday so that we can ensure we keep the gateway of South clean, which is Garden Hills. Initiative is to also make sure you keep your own property clean, but at the same time, as a collective unit, we want to make sure that the roadsides are kept clean. As you know, we clean them ourselves as the community, the MBKS community. There are a few streets here that get roadside cleaning, and so that along with the church again partnership, and we always believe that as a member of parliament you should partner with all the churches in your community, because you got to look at how we balance the life of the whole man, and balancing the life of the whole man, that's not just physically, mentally, but also spiritually.
Representative Maria Pyfrom says it was important for the church to connect on this level as another means to reach the masses.
Really coming out here and supporting the community is we really wanted to show the love of God. You know, it's important for us to be in a safe environment where our families can dwell. So seeing as we are newly a part of this community, we just wanted to come together and share that love with our MP and with all the members of this community.
Awesome. And how many persons are there?
About 30. In conjunction with Mr. Boleg's team, we'll make about 40 out here to support us today. Hopefully we get more in, because we do have a few volunteers who have said that they will come and join us. But right now we have about 40.
So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, our Laurencia Smith has your latest check on sports. Good evening, Laurencia.
Good evening, Janaea. While over the weekend, dozens of young athletes had an opportunity to learn the fundamentals about tennis and flag football, all courtesy of Bayshore Sports Consultancy. I'll tell you more about it straight ahead in sports.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's having their summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Bye. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between a 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich, but I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you, but don't ask me for no money when I win.
At BOB, we take pride in our business banking.
I chose Bank of the Bahamas because it was a Bahamian-owned bank. The bank has certainly supported our evolution through overdraft facilities, purchasing of equipment, facilitating of salary payments, and I really believe that Bank of the Bahamas is able to help in the development of the local economy. I would truly recommend the services at Bank of the Bahamas.
You again today? Yes, ma'am, Miss Villa. It's me again, but not for another household expenditure survey. As promised, your $70 voucher. Money never come too late. Here I come. Girl.
Smell, I just want to take the time out to thank you for your willingness, for your participation in this household expenditure survey.
It was my pleasure. I'm going to take my gift certificate. I'm going to buy my fruits and vegetables. Thank you, Jesus.
Everything that you share with BNSI stays private by law. We don't name names. We just count what matters. All that we ask is that you be honest. Finish the survey so we can truly represent our communities.
Complete your household expenditure survey and receive your $70 food or gas voucher.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for
for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052. Shop smart, shop smart, and shop smart. Oh, everything is here.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping sports. This past weekend, Bayshore Consultancy hosted a multi-sport event kicking off at the John McCroon Tennis Center at Bahamas on Saturday, where young inspiring athletes took to the court to learn the fundamentals of tennis from two of the country's top players, Michael Major Jr. and Delaney Nottage. Then it was time to shift gears as Bayshore hosted a free flag football camp on Sunday featuring former NFL player Rayford Shipman of the New Orleans Saints.
Today is doing an introduction to flag football. We'll give you guys some techniques to take home with you when we leave. So when we come back, who knows, you guys could be on the Olympics later on in life. Sports, it builds character and it brings culture together.
The camp saw a strong turnout with more than a dozen young athletes taking part in the camp over at the St. Augustine's College campus field. Now, Bayshore Sports Consultancy is the brainchild of Deron Donaldson and Dwayne Davis Jr. Both men play a key role in the local sports landscape through their work in tennis, swimming, and now in youth development across multiple sporting disciplines.
First Bayshore Sports we get, so we're just trying to expose athletes and make junior athletes get the necessary exposure that they deserve. So this is just a start of something big and more to come. All right, so this is our free Bayshore Sports we get.
Sports Minister Mario Bolek paid a visit to the camp, praising Bayshore for what he calls an innovative and impactful initiative designed to expand youth opportunities through sports.
The partnership with them and many more sporting disciplines to ensure we cover the whole man and woman as it relates to sports here in the country. So congratulations once again.
In news from the NBA, with the free agency set to open July 1st, sources tell ESPN that the big man himself, DeAndre Ayton, is finalizing contract buyouts with the Portland Trailblazers, paving way for him to hit the open market. Ayton, who turns 27 next month, had $35.6 million remaining on a contract that was set to expire next summer. His representative indicated the buyout, with Ayton looking to join a winning franchise, according to ESPN sources. The 2018 number 1 draft pick helped the Phoenix Suns reach the NBA Finals in 2021. He was named to an all-rookie team his first season and averaged 16.7 points, 10.4 rebounds, while shooting nearly 60% from the field during his time in Phoenix. Now, Ayton appeared in just 40 games for Portland this last season and has played in only 95 of possibly 164 games over the last 2 seasons. Be paying close attention to see where the men's national basketball player will head next. Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Why did we decide to put together our country's first nationwide comprehensive energy reforms? We knew that there were no easy answers. BPL was more than $500 million in debt when we came in, operating a failed electricity grid with key components on the verge of collapse. A grid incapable of transmitting solar energy. Changing all of this is a huge project, one that is finally underway. The sky-high bills, the chronic power outages, they've hurt Bahamian families and Bahamian businesses. We are going to leave all of that in the past. We are taking it all on, and transforming energy is going to transform our economy. Go online now to learn more.
Summer holiday fun starts with a visit to Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
Pastalia pastas assorted 14 ounces, 2 for $1.89. Cardinal evaporated milk 13 ounces, $1.09. Fresh tomatoes $1.49 per pound. Whole chicken wings $1.69 per pound. Bone-in chicken breasts $2.29 per pound. Join the Super Value Quality Points program today at any Super Value or Quality supermarkets.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
You again today? Yes, Mom and Villa, it's me again, but not for another household expenditure survey. As promised, your $70 bulk job.
Money never come too late. Here I come. Come, girl.
Smell, I just want to take the time out to thank you for your willingness, for your participation in this household expenditure survey.
It was my pleasure. I'm going to take my gift certificate. I'm going to buy my fruits and vegetables. Thank you, Jesus.
Everything that you share with BNSI stays private by law. We don't name names, we just count what matters. All that we ask is that you be honest. Finish the survey so we can truly represent our communities.
Complete your household expenditure survey and receive your $70 food or gas voucher.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, that wraps up news at this hour, but coming up and beyond the headlines with Shanique Miller, it's a look at all of today's top stories. That's coming up and beyond the headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
That was the enthusiastic and warm welcome that first graders of Stephen Dillard Primary School gave to Education Minister Glennis Hannah Martin and to members of her executive team during their official visit to the school. The team offered the student body powerful words of encouragement.
Continue to ask questions, to be curious. Embrace every challenge and know that we believe in you. As we move forward, let us continue to strengthen the bonds between schools, families, and our community.
I want you boys and girls who are here to take responsibility for this school, how it's viewed in the public's eye, how you manage yourselves, how you prepare yourselves, how you perform. Because who you are and what you are is what this school is. And we're seeing what this school is. And we're learning who you are and what you are. And we know that you are among the great citizens of this nation.
And the visit ended with nothing less than a brilliant burst of Bahamian culture. That'll do it for Ed Talk.
Join us on Social Mania, a new and dynamic game show based on the Ministry of Education's primary and junior high school social studies curriculum. Students from schools across the Bahamas go head to head as their knowledge of social studies is challenged. In this episode, C.W. Sawyer Primary School battles Uriah McPhee Primary School. Which school will emerge as winner? To find out, join us as these two schools engage in intense competition. Don't miss it.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk,
which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
That was the enthusiastic and warm welcome that first graders of Stephen Dillett Primary School gave to Education Minister Glennis Hannah Martin and members of her executive team during their official visit to the school. The team offered the student body powerful words of encouragement.
Continue to ask questions, to be curious. Embrace every challenge and know that we believe in you. As we move forward, let us continue to strengthen the bonds between schools, families, and our community.
I want you boys and girls who are here to take responsibility for this school, how it's viewed in the public's eye, how you manage yourselves, how you prepare yourselves, how you perform. Because who you are and what you are is what this school is. And we're seeing what this school is. And we're learning who you are and what you are. And we know that you are among the great citizens of this nation.
And the visit ended with nothing less than a brilliant burst of Bahamian culture. That'll do it for Ed Talk.
thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, Dr. Minnis not backing down as he says he is the leader this moment requires. He also says he won't be pushed aside. Fallout in South Beach as aspirant Jamal Moss voices displeasure at not being picked and given the F&M nod for the constituency. We hear from him tonight and later. Are you, like many other Bahamians, on edge, dreading your summer BPL bill? You know what happens every summer. Well, we have the CEO of BPL and a representative from the Office of the Prime Minister here to tell you just how they plan on helping you save, so important, save money this summer. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, with questions swirling about the political future of former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, speculation is mounting over what's next for him. This as he hosted a constituency event on Friday evening, pulling in hundreds of supporters. We get this story from Laurencia Smith, and then we come back and give our opinion.
Really coming out here and supporting the community is we really wanted to show the love of God. You know, it's important for us to be in a safe environment where our family...
Over the weekend, Kalani's Member of Parliament Dr. Hubert Minnis officially launched the Kalani Strong Movement, a community-focused campaign, he says, aimed at mobilizing support and reconnecting with residents. The event drew some political heavyweights, including former Deputy Prime Minister Desmond Bannister and former Minister Branville McCartney. Dr. Minnis also unveiled a new initiative he intends to introduce to his community, a digital local government platform designed to let residents flag issues like potholes and infrastructural problems in real time.
Send us a GPS marking to the office. The office would obviously be strengthened, and then the office would communicate with the relevant authority to have it repaired and fixed, whatever is necessary. And at the same time, we communicate with the residents who are facing the problem and keep them abreast as to the progress on.
The longtime Killarney MP says he remains committed to the constituency he's represented for nearly 2 decades, a seat once seen as a safe F&M stronghold, now considered a potential battleground.
And I have no doubt that I'll win the constituency. I have no doubt that I would win, and we will keep Killarney strong and make Killarney even stronger, and make Killarney the role model of constituencies within the Bahamas.
But while Minnis is declaring his intentions to run, the F&M has made its position clear. Party leader Michael Pintard confirmed that Dr. Minnis will not be renominated on the F&M ticket. The party unveiled 17 candidates last Thursday, a mixture of returning politicians and fresh faces, some of them running under the Minnis leadership in the last election.
I have not looked at the slate, to be honest with you. Many of them I don't know. Many of them I don't know. So I've not analyzed or tried to look at individuals, their background, what they would bring, etc. I have not analyzed that.
When asked if he was consulted on the new slate, Minnis said no. And when pressed on whether he feels sidelined by his own party, he offered this response.
History would speak for itself. History would speak for itself. I told you previously that I was not allowed to speak at any F&M events, at any association meetings, etc.
Well, that's Dr. Eyewitness speaking with Laurencia Smith earlier today. Dr. Minnis, of course, coming out of that event that he held on Friday evening at the Twisted Lime. I shouldn't be calling y'all names, should I? Come on board. Let's help with that. Let's have a good time. But it's certainly at that establishment in Western District of New Providence in his constituency. Dr. Minnis, again, very steadfast and sounding very much like a man in charge. In fact, sounding like he is going to what?
I'm the leader this moment requires.
What he said, Leslie?
I'm the leader that this moment requires.
In fact, he unveiled.
Of the FNM, that is.
Yes, of course, of the FNM. Yeah. He unveiled a number of other initiatives. You heard him talk about a digital platform for local government, something that is not presently in New Providence, but he wants to ensure that Killarney becomes this model constituency where that is played out and properly structured. He also announced plans to introduce, in fact, I think he's done some of this already, a great deal of it, but take a ring security system throughout the constituency, public infrastructure upgrades. Leslie Miller, Garth Roseborough, good evening to both of you. Welcome to the show. Does this sound like a man who will stand down or somehow move to the side and not continue to be a thorn, or maybe not in the FNM side?
Yeah, could I do the...
Good evening, Shanique.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Good night. Could I do the Minnis thing?
What Minister? Garth, stop being mischievous. Stop being mischievous.
Leslie Miller, if you want to go ahead, by all means. But anyhow, definitely the strength is being shown here. We've said here from this particular platform, this particular space, that Dr. Minnis was now appearing to be an emperor, as it was, and making a grand entry. He has been consistent from that time till this time, and right now we see a very calm, a very collective Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. He knows that he is an issue to the party, not because he intended to be the issue, but that we can clearly see that the organization has an issue with him. Mm-hmm. He has already not been given the nomination, as he has said. He was not given permission to speak before. So if you hate me, you hate me. You got rid of me. The people of my constituency still loves me. I want to represent them. What is the issue? You're still complaining. You're still trying to blame somebody. So let's look at a similar situation in North Abaco. We had our very good friend, Darren Henfield, the senator. Mm-hmm. He was in his constituency. He was a cabinet minister. Yep. But the people are saying in Abaco, we do not want you. So he ends up in South Beach. Mm-hmm. You have a minister that is wanted by the constituency, a Darren Henfield that is not wanted. Both of them were in the cabinet. Both of them were executives of the party. So how do you choose one over the other? Very clear to us today, the issue is not sensible. The issue is just simply petty.
So hold on. The issue is petty, you say. So you're trying to say both look and smell alike and showing up alike. So why choose one over the next? Is that what you're saying?
And yeah, and you know, my whole thought process of Mr. Miller and Shanique Miller is that when you have a gorilla in a cage, leave him in the cage. Give him the nomination, keep him in the cage. But you went right ahead with your brash self, since everybody is Lil and Lil Phil, and open up the cage. All you could ever get at that zoo is bloodshed. Leave the gorilla in the cage. Now the gorilla's loose. He is showing you, I am in total control of myself. There's nothing Lil about me, and if you don't believe that, you bring that candidate to me. I will prove it to you that Kalani loves me. He has the strongest case so far. At this particular time, we pity the Free National Movement. Whoever they're sending, they have their work cut out for them.
You know, we have said on this show over and over and over again, God and I, that Dr. Minnis was definitely going to run. That in fact, he has more popularity in the FNM now than the leader does. And the leader is aware of this. And you want some examples. The guys in Andres, what's the name? Who was the MP?
Which one? Bolek? Who?
Bolek.
North Andros, yeah.
Okay, Carlton Bolek. Okay, go ahead.
Who was running? Mm-hmm. Did you hear that voice note that came out over the weekend?
Well, I heard it, but you know.
That took place. I mean, I wouldn't want no Bahamian child to have heard what a supposed member of parliament could stoop to in a conversation with someone else.
Well, obviously he was arguing with someone, and that's, and that's a lesson for all of you, eh?
Yes. Be careful, man.
On these phones, bring it down some. and don't have much to say on the phones because you don't know who is recording you, who is like it's just wild. I heard it as well, and I didn't listen to all of it.
Dr. Minnis has his following. He's going to retain his following, and he's getting more popular because some of the foolishness that the leaders now doing makes no sense. For example, in the newspapers this morning, he's trying to shake Dr. Minnis' hand. What the hell is Minnis going to shake his hand for?
Well, I'll tell you this, gentlemen.
For what?
Gentlemen,
I won't break it off.
That was just a... No, you can't. And you say...
If you're not to break your damn hand off...
Didn't you just say, Leslie, that the man shouldn't be cursing and carrying himself?
I ain't say cursing. I ain't cursing him.
Yeah, but you can't. So we
off.
can't say break the hand off because then that's violence, right? But let me tell you what it is.
That's payback.
In that particular daily, the camera just happened to snap wonderfully at that time when Minnis was doing some hand action, not sure. For the first time in the longest while, happened to have spoken with Dr. Minnis because I too wanted to know, well, hold on, why would you give the leader the hand? He said, no, they did shake hands, and whatever those gestures were as they were talking, this is when the camera snapped. And so, but I'll tell you, it's the Tribune, that's the money-making shot right there.
Yeah, it is.
But that is
no,
what took
the
place.
heart just happened to speak, but the lips could not. That's all. The handshake means absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
There's no friendship there.
The guy done
There's
killed
no
him.
association there.
Mm-hmm.
You chopped me off. You kicked me out of heaven. Let me tell you about kicking people out of heaven. Mm-hmm. When you kick the devil out of heaven, let me get spiritual with y'all, since y'all will be Christian and so-called Christian nation.
Remember, it's a former
Let's
pastor.
go to Revelation chapter 12. You kick the devil out of heaven, drawing 1/3 of the heavenly host with you. But when you come to earth, look at all you devils running around that he just recruited. You continue to recruit. So when you kick the devil out, listen, man, you can call Minister Devil, but the only thing that happen is that your following is going to increase. It's going to increase. And so if it were me, leave the gorilla in the cage until such time.
Well, he's out now. You can't put him back in.
Well, he's out.
Can't put him back in.
Speaking of, let's move on. We're still on politics. A political hopeful who was not successful in his attempt to be a candidate for the constituency here in New Providence, is speaking out tonight, suggesting that the party's selection isn't sitting well with potential voters and, most importantly, party insiders in the area who feel as though their say was disregarded. Jose Etienne takes it from here, and then we come back and we talk about it.
So I'm a better person. I felt as I would be the...
Former Senator Jamal Moss isn't holding back days after the Free National Movement ratified Senator Darren Hinfield as its candidate for South Beach.
I felt as though I'm a better person. I felt as though I would be the better person for the job, but like I said, the party made a decision.
Moss had been eyeing that constituency for some time, hoping to be the party's pick for the next general election. But those hopes were shut down Thursday night when the FNM announced its first slate of candidates.
I felt hurt. I'm not going to deny it. I felt hurt.
To make matters worse, reports suggest that the party's South Beach Constituency Association was blindsided by the move. Executives there were reportedly backing Moss and expected the party to follow their lead.
They were shocked by it, especially knowing that you work the area. You get to know the persons in the constituency, listening to their concerns, putting together plans and visions that you would like to do for the area.
The fallout is the latest sign of growing tension between constituency associations and FNM executives on who should represent the party on the ground. Similar rifts have been reported in Killarney, where association members are still pushing for former Prime Minister Dr. Eyewitness to return as their member of parliament.
I sit on the executive, and so the party has listened to our constituencies at 7 a.m. Sometimes you go forward with this person or you go forward with that person. So it's a delicate situation.
Meanwhile, Henfield is making a political shift of his own, this time vying to represent a constituency in New Providence after previously serving as MP for North Abaco. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, there you have it. I guess one person feeling a bit put out by the selection and that he was not included, Jamal Moss. Jamal Moss, of course, as you all know, is a former senator, one of the younger members and faces of the Free National Movement. I certainly know him from his broadcasting days. We both worked at ZNS, but you know, he's doing whatever it is he's doing. But your thoughts on how he feels? I mean, obviously, someone has to be nominated, and the next person has to be disappointed.
Yeah, but you know, this is another classic example of the inept leadership in the Free National Movement. There was this young man from South Beach who was nominated by his peers in South Beach who worked with him, and there they said, this is the guy we want to represent us. And they said a half hour before it was supposed to be announced, the leader informed them that it's not going to be him, it's the guy from Abaco. I mean,
that's how you know it's half hour before.
That's what the people said, South Beach. I didn't say it. I didn't even know them.
So you're saying it was sloppy how everything was handled?
I said it was
can't
unfair.
even come back and try and defend that.
The process was unfair to Mr. Moss.
Yes, but it was said that he worked a few constituencies, but more recently he's been working South Beach. Yes. And so you're saying he and his supporters and the association were caught off guard.
Yes, and it's not fair. Again, this is this dictatorial type feature that's in this man's heart. He doesn't have to talk to anybody. What he says goes. And it's unfair.
But how we know it's him, though? How we know?
Listen, the leader is the leader.
Okay, fine.
There's only one leader.
The buck stops with
and he is the leader.
You're right.
Okay.
Garth?
Well, I've said before that we were just anxiously waiting for the rolling out of the candidates of the Free National Movement. What we did not anticipate was rolling them out while there's such disunity still existing in the party. You as a leader should have gotten everyone together, gathered them together, make them cohesive, put on the adhesion that is necessary, let folks know that, you know what, it's not going to be personal, here is the objective. Yes. You came here to sit in our classroom. Now, I've been in school before, Shanique Miller. When I sit in the classroom, I expect to get an A, I want to pass at the top of the class. Everyone sitting in that classroom expected to be the one. They were going to be in the movie The Matrix, and they were going to be the star of the show. Now you find out that you just one of the cyborgs in the movie and you're not going to get a chance. And so how do you expect these people to feel? Is there any compassion in these people? Is there any leadership skills that they have ever learned in terms of their political experience? None. And then I'll make it ironic for you. All of a sudden we have all of these Free National Movement people whose feelings, I use the word feelings, are hurt as if Dr. Minnis didn't have any feelings at all. My Lord, look at us tonight. We have feelings.
Crumbles.
Well, I tell you, it is, again, you know, Jamal is one of those very, someone who has big dreams.
Guy.
Yeah, big dreams.
And very articulate young man.
He is. He was given an opportunity before. He served as a senator.
The CIO still out there? What the hell they call this?
Stop it.
CIO.
Let me move forward.
What is the name?
The COI, they're doing pretty good.
In fact, the COI, I'll tell you about them after the first break. But get this, though. Former Free National Movement Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, responding to the party's recent release of its first slate of candidates to represent the FNM in the upcoming general election. Now, Lewis changed his allegiance and gave the Coalition of Independents, that's who they are, COI, the Coalition of Independents, a seat in Parliament back in April, if you all will remember, after he emphasized, I'm going where I'm wanted, not tolerated.
Yeah, but the people who put him there are not the people from Grand Bahama who elected him. Remember that?
Leslie, people...
He ran against their will.
Leslie,
remember
people
that?
have crossed
and
the
they
floor.
can slaughter him for that.
Leslie, people...
You can pay a price for that.
Leslie, when you went to Central Grand Bahama...
I see you can pay a price for that.
Leslie, people have crossed the floor many a time. Yeah. Many a time, and they have crossed the floor to another party opposite than theirs, and they have been elected. Let me tell you this.
Vaughn Miller.
Sorry?
Vaughn Miller. Came from the Free National Movement, crossed the floor, went to the Progressive Party.
That's why he left.
He's not the only one. There are many members of Parliament that have done it. Well, you know, a good handful of them. Meanwhile, though, Lewis...
He can win again, too.
Who's going to win?
Vaughn Miller.
Iram Lewis made it clear why voters should break the stigma of thinking it's only a choice between two parties. Here's what he had to say.
Well, it was not my decision. It was not my decision. It was the party's council decision, and if they're happy with their decision, we have to accept that. I'm with the COI, so obviously I'm going to campaign for people to support the COI. So obviously this is the place to be. This is the party for you. This is the party where real change is going to take place. That is why I cross over, and I'm now here with a party that's going to fight for the people.
Well, there you have it, Iram Lewis, the Coalition of Independents Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, speaking on the FNM's rollout and whatnot.
We can get rollout.
But rollout on Saturday evening. When we come back, we will tell you exactly where he was when he made those remarks. This is Beyond the Headlines. Sorry?
New headquarters in Grove.
New headquarters, that's right. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this. The COI is really doing big things. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you tuned in. I'm happy that you are watching. Keep your comments coming. Also, come on board. Come on board. It's good to have you welcome new sponsorship and all the rest of it. Come on board. Reach out to our sales and marketing team and let's have a wonderful, great experience together. Well, you saw just before we took the break, Aram Lewis, who is the Member of Parliament for the Coalition of Independents in the Central Grand Bahama constituency, spoke about the FNM's rollout of its 17. By the way, Dr. Sands, the FNM's chairman, defended those 17. He said, listen, no, they're quite proud of that. Anybody who has something to say, all they're doing is just doing this. They can stay focused and not be distracted. Moving on, though, the Coalition of Independents, COI supporters, turned out in full force on Saturday decked out in party colors for the official opening of the COI's headquarters at the Carroll Roll building off West Bay Street. The space was blessed by Pastor Rakino Monker of Revolution Church, ushering in what leaders call a new era for the party. Party leader Lincoln Bain told supporters it's been a long time coming, but worth the wait, as he renewed his call for the support of Bahamian voters ahead of the next general election.
And 5 days, they're watching the clock. In 2 weeks and 5 days, everything you see, we did. There was no ceiling in here. There was no electrical. There was no nothing. We put the paint on the walls. There was no AC in here. We can be efficient. They choose to not be efficient because the only thing they're efficient in is taking money from the treasury. If we could take some dollar drive money and do this, give us one term. Only one. And you will never want the PLP and F&M again. Just one term. And you can see. Because we ain't empower ourselves. We can empower you.
Well, there you have it. Of course, that happened on Saturday evening at the official opening of the COI's Coalition of Independence headquarters. You heard party leader Lincoln Bain say, listen, they opened that and got that all set up with as efficiently as possible, meaning obviously power and being able to conserve energy and the rest of it so that their bills are lower. And he is saying it can be done. Well, of course, you heard me tease at the top of the show. BPL CEO is here. But I want to bring in Leslie and Garth. Listen, that room looked like it had a lot of energy.
What you think? Why are you being so much cheaper tonight? How much people?
That is a small room. I mean, the room only can hold but 150 people.
That, man.
You ain't asked us that, but you talk about energy, and energy is represented by. Okay, they had a lot of energy, Shanique, a whole lot of energy. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And congratulations to them on their new building. We are anxiously awaiting to see more come from them.
Rent, you know?
And yeah, we wishing them well. We wish them well. Leslie Miller.
You know, they had a little turnout. I see they announced 5 more candidates, I think.
Why you say little? Like Michael Pentar?
I really don't see that political party getting more than 2,000 Bahamians to vote for them.
You like to call numbers.
Straight across the board.
You like to call
it ain't gonna happen.
You like
they
to
will
call
not get more than 2,000 voters. They cast an X for them. They will not get more than 2,000 voters.
Leslie bet me, and you told
I
the
lost.
same group of you lost.
Yes.
It was you guys?
Yeah.
Leslie talked about
they will not get more than 2,000
West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
So the better said they're going to get more than 2,000. Kai Mills got almost, 800 in the last election. Right. So you're kind of on rocky ground right now.
We'll see. That's all right.
How much?
I like rocky ground.
How much you going to pay me?
$500.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. But listen, the COI had its official opening of its headquarters. Of its headquarters on Saturday evening. You all saw supporters there. Of course, they are almost at a full 39 candidates now that they have already launched. Of course, the Boundaries Commission will continue to do its work, and if they decide to add more to that because of population shift and growth, then of course I'm sure the COI will obviously match that. But everybody, of course, is watching everything now, every single thing. You all, how does the political landscape, and I talk about who, let me move on. I'm not even going to put that question out there. And inflation, as inflation continues to place financial pressures on businesses across the country, the beauty industry is feeling the pinch. Owners say the cost of products and services have skyrocketed, and many are just trying to stay afloat. Delano Roca has the story, and then we'll come back and give thoughts about it.
From hair products to salon equipment, the price of doing business is going up. Golden Touch Barbershop owner Garvin Bernard and Color Me Beauty owner Shanae Smith say inflation is making it hard to keep their doors open.
When I first started cutting hair, alcohol was basically about $1.50, $2 a bottle. Alcohol now costing you almost $5 for a bottle of alcohol. Clipper side went up probably about $7 or $8. The price of blades for your clippers has gone up drastically, basically doubled since COVID. I guess that would affect that, but the price never went back down. So everything, the price of everything is basically up.
Duty on makeup products right now is a lot. These makeup products, just one concealer can cost you $45. You have to order these things, clear it, and plus pay the shipping company for bringing it. So that's basically, you're not making no profit.
And as the costs continue to climb, owners say customers are cutting back, leaving their bottom line to take a hit.
I had to increase my prices, and I didn't have pushback from, I'll say about 99% of my customers didn't have a pushback on it because they understood. But you still always have that 1% who always got, some kind of feedback as to why. And then you got to explain it and break it down to them, and then they tend to understand the reasoning why you got to go up on your prices.
I saw a little drop with clients booking actually, because my price is more than other, because the beauty industry is big. Everyone doing makeup.
But it's not just the cost of products. They say the industry is now overly saturated, and rental spaces can run as high as $1,600 a month.
Since I was in this vicinity cutting hair, we had 2 barbershops primarily. So now between, I'll say the space of 100 feet, we now have about 5 barbershops. So people tend to go wherever is more convenient for them at that point in time.
So I started renting. I wasn't seeing much profit as I used to from home, but I compromised it and I just let it work because it's something I really want to do. So I can't let me paying a high rent affect me. I just have to push myself out there to get more clients to come in.
Still, amid the struggle, Wax by SD Babe owner Ariel Smith is urging beauty bosses to be mindful of how they do their pricing.
Once you communicate with your clients and your customers, you let them know that, hey, due to so-and-so, you give them the reason on why something is going up. Persons understand. You just don't jump into, okay, today something was $50 and you jumped to $100.
Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
That's it.
There's a guy sick, you take him out.
Welcome back out here live. Gentlemen, this is something that over a year ago I brought up and talked about the fact that, but it was just from a different angle slightly. But what are your thoughts on those in the beauty industry? Obviously, those are MUAs, makeup artists, and those who work in whether it's barbershops or beauty salons, talking about, I guess, having to put their prices up because of just bringing in supplies and the cost and the increase in supplies, the cost of supplies. Your thoughts on the fact that they say inflation is now knocking on their doors?
Well, that's a tough one, Shanique Miller, because it's not an industry that I am familiar with. I've always dated natural women, so I've never really had to deal with any cost inflation. But for those people who are earning that type of revenue, I've heard people talk about filling in the nails and spending $60.
Hold on, so the women you dated never had their nails done?
We didn't have to do those things, I mean,
what is this you dated?
as a man, I have a right to choose.
Does that Dominicans?
I have a right to choose what God gave me. But if you need someone who needs all those things, well,
listen to
you
me,
got to pay, right?
but I bet you was looking at the women who had their nails and doing just a bit extra.
No, I'm a very focused man, Shanique. I have 8 jobs. What's wrong with you? I stay very focused on what I need to do each day. It's not about vanity for me. But I do empathize and sympathize with those people who are entrepreneurs, who are in this particular industry. What it's now going to take is maybe you have to refresh and go ahead and rebrand, or you may have to go ahead and benchmark with other beauticians nearby you. You're going to have to find a way to become competitive. I've always said that it's amazing how the barbers can come from another country, from the South, come into our country, and now most of our barber shops are foreigners.
But the Indians
and now
now
you see the
control
beauty industry is also...
The beauty market. The Indians control the market.
Well, in a certain area, like
Yeah, the
Bay
Indians
Street,
control
for
the market.
example, the Indians are controlling there, but
Yeah.
he's talking about the Jamaican barbers.
Oh, you're smart.
Yes, I've heard.
Oh, great. And so you as Bahamian people, we applaud you. We want to encourage you to continue to be fighting for that which you love as a passion. It's going to take some additional work, however. You need to go home, do your homework. You need to study your client base. Where do they live? Are you accessible? Where is the business located? Is it located on a stoplight where people feel frustrated coming to your business? Do you need to make your business more upscale? Or do you need to just simply cut back on the establishment that you're now leasing? You're going to have to find a way to go ahead and trim your business during this difficult time until such measure is going to be corrected. But we are praying for you, and we do encourage you to continue to be steadfast. Unfortunately, I cannot help you. I don't need nails or hair. But if I know anybody that needs some help, I'm going to encourage them to come to you, Bahamian people, to get themselves all fixed up in Jesus' name.
You know how many of my suits and my shirts, they had ruined all that makeup on? Okay, and then I getting beat up because a woman hugged me and she got my makeup on my shirt. I think that fellas probably need to diversify, go into the breast augmentation business.
Leslie, that's a specialty, and that's
the
and
liposuction
you need a
business.
medical.
I just tell you how to make money.
Listen to me. We don't need people
And
like the
also-
Dominican Republic and the back streets of Miami.
Don't
to
forget
go
the
and-
hips.
and exactly injecting
That crew
foolishness.
got it.
Y'all don't do that unless you have a
The
license.
breast 22 and the hip 48.
Unless you have a license, don't do it. Unless you have a license.
I'm going to tell you what that's where the big money is.
No,
right
that's
now.
the big money. You're right.
Okay.
That happens every day. I
That's
tell
right.
you, them girls be walking around. I tell you,
I'm telling you.
built and manufactured.
Yeah.
Is how they be
So
walking
fellas,
around.
get ready to pay to play.
Listen to me.
Ain't no freebie out there.
I thank you both very much. Always, always. You all should know, except God. God say no, no nails. God say no nails, no hair.
Don't need it to see.
Oh, so he liked the girls.
No. You need to talk about this on the air.
So this is what he liked.
We can leave that alone, Jenny.
If you speak Spanish, you're good.
And beyond the headlines,
It's
when
back
it's
right
noticed in the retail,
right after this.
hasta mañana.
As I said.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
I was an electrician for 18 years, and one day I just lost my sight and found that I was in a totally new world. I just found this strength that came from nowhere, and here I am today. Even though I am faced with disabilities, the fire in me, it never went out as related to me being an entrepreneur. But the barrier is just people being understanding and willing to take a chance on somebody like myself. My dream is to see where the government can really pass laws, legislation to assist people like myself. And whether you believe it or not, we do have something to offer this country. We have to make people understand that we are here. And not in many cases we looking for handout. We want to make a contribution. You gotta live. And part of living is that you gotta take charge of your life. And through programs like this with the SBDC, I know for a fact that my business can now come to life.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Again, of course, it's awesome having you tuned in and joining us here this evening. This is certainly a part of the show where you want to pay attention. You want to pull up a chair and you want to find out a number of things about BPL this summer. You know that they're in the middle of an energy reform. That's been said now for several months. But what BPL is also doing is introducing a system where your bill, get this, will be lower this summer. This is what they are promising. We're going to have to hold them to it because you all know what takes place every summer. Everyone is on pins and needles, on edge for running their air conditioning systems because why? The bills are super just through the roof. And so we're going to find out tonight exactly what's planned, what's on the table to help make that happen for you and a whole lot more. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, the CEO of BPL, Tony Seymour, and Latre Raming, Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister. Good evening to both of you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Thanks for having me.
Good evening, Shanique. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's good to have you here. And I tell you, many people, you would be surprised to know even, but I'm sure you probably won't. I'm speaking now to you, Ms. Seymour, of so many people who are, especially in these summer months, they are nervous about their electricity bills. Let's just talk about why are bills higher right now after, especially the minister, if you would remember and paid attention during the budget debate where she bragged about, for the first several months of this year, residential customers in particular experience savings.
Yes, so with the equity rate adjustment that the government rolled out in July of 2024, it gives residential customers the first 0 to 200 kilowatt hours free of charge, which means if you keep your consumption below the 200 kilowatt hour mark, you're really only paying for the cost of fuel. However, as it gets hotter, you consume more electricity. So I know a lot of our customers say, well, I haven't done anything different in my home. I haven't changed anything. But the reality is the outside air temperature is hotter. Your ACs have to work a lot harder to cool the same space that it may have in the cooler months. Your kids are home from school. Your refrigerators are working harder. So there are some things that customers can do to reduce their consumption. One of the things that I recommend is...
But 1 second, the reason it's higher now, even before you start giving these sort of cost-saving measures, is the fact that everything is working harder. There's more demand on everything, every appliance. You mentioned the refrigerator. I know, for example, Leslie and we've discussed with Garth, who for some miraculous reason pays minimum on his electricity bill each month. And so he has quite an impressive electricity bill each month. But he talks about the fact that he times when he opens his refrigerator. It's not in and out all throughout the day. That will help?
It helps. Anything that you have plugged into an outlet is consuming electricity. If the TV is plugged in, even if it's on, it's drawing current. Your water heater is a big drawer of electricity. What I recommend is putting your water heater on a timer, setting your ACs to 5 degrees below outside air temperature, and then using fans to continue to cool your home as much as possible. In and out, even turn down the setting on your refrigerator as low as you can tolerate it, because that also draws electricity. And additionally, because we're creeping into the summer months now, typically in the winter months, we can run most of New Providence with the Clifton Pier Power Station, which runs on the cheaper fuel, which is heavy fuel oil. So the cost of fuel is lower during the winter months because we're not burning as much fuel. So now that the load is creeping up because it's hotter, because there's a lot more demand on the system, we now have to run our diesel engines at the Blue Hills Power Station. Diesel costs more than the heavy fuel oil. And because the fuel surcharge is a direct pass-through to customers, whatever we spend on fuel for the month is passed through per kilowatt hour to all of our customers. And the fuel surcharge on the June bills went up by 2 cents over the previous month. And that's simply because we have to run more units to be able to meet the load demand as it increases. And as we move into this, May is not the hottest month. Typically, we see our peak loads in September, which tends to be the hottest month for us. So we know that we're going to continue to burn more and more fuel.
Then how do you now jump in and say, and Trey, I want you to jump in here as well, because this is an initiative through BPL and OPM about saving people money, customers. That's so important during these months in particular when the bills are just through the roof, as I said.
I think simply put, Shanique, the government of the Bahamas last week, I think it's still with IRCA for a decision to be made, introduced a summer energy rebate program. And that basically allowed BPL to hold the line, and that's going to provide significant savings for Bahamians over the summer period. I think that the decision was made quickly. I think the CEO of BPL could know that the Prime Minister and her spoke extensively last week, and he made the decision to ensure that the government is keeping its overall commitment of reducing the economic pressure on Bahamians. And this come on the heel of the equity rate reduction as well, where a significant savings as well. So the government is continue to do its part in alleviating the economic pressures Bahamian families experience. Obviously, this is no cheap undertaking by the government of the Bahamas, but it is a worthwhile investment.
And so Bahamians, homeowners, and I many times I feature different people on the show, people who income is meager to otherwise, but they all have the same complaint. So they'll be able to touch, feel, and experience these savings.
And definitely. I think it's important to note that this saving mechanism, it is the hope of the government, and I would go as far as BPL, with the introduction of a much more diversified energy system with LNG as well as renewables, that we will reduce, the government of the Bahamas and extension would reduce less on the source of energy it is currently using now. I think LNG is expected to come on stream at the end of the year. We also anticipate that there will be the solar, the microgrids coming on stream. That's going to give BPL a much more diversified energy source. So I think it is the intent of the government to quickly move towards a different energy future, to mitigate the need for the government having to step in and to really provide this level of relief. I think the Prime Minister, I know there's been a lot of opposition to this policy, but I think the Prime Minister makes an apology and doing what's necessary to reduce the economic pressure for Bahamians.
Well, I tell you, Bahamians are happy to hear it. The power bill is one of the most expensive recurring expense that homeowners have each month, and it's quite burdensome oftentimes. Let's give a quick, listen to me, you need a few master's degrees to even think about understanding and breaking down the bill. How can people better understand their bill?
So the bill is based in tiers. So the first tier, as I mentioned previously, is the 0 to 200 kilowatt hour tier. If your consumption falls into that bracket, you pay 0 for your base rate. You just pay the cost of fuel, which is probably what Garth has achieved, and he may need to share some of his energy saving tips since he seems to have mastered that. From 201 to 800 kilowatt hours, you pay a rate of 11.95 cents on the base rate. And over 800 kilowatt hours, you pay 14.95 cents as your base rate. Now, prior to the equity rate adjustment in July of 2024, that 0 to 200 kilowatt hour bracket was at 10.95 cents per kilowatt hour. And in terms of the fuel charge, it's also tiered. So
Below 800 kilowatt hours, you pay 2.5% below the average fuel cost, and above 800 kilowatt hours, 2.5 cents below the average fuel cost, and above 800 kilowatt hours, you pay 1.5 cents above the average fuel cost. So what the tiered approach does is it encourages you to use less so that you can pay less.
Right.
Now, what the government has done with the rebate throughout the end of September is set the fuel charge at a standard rate, which means that typically during the summer months, the fuel surcharge can range between 20 to, I would say, 28 cents, depending on how much fuel we use for that particular period. But now that it's being set at 17.4 cents for the lower tier and 21.4 cents for the higher tier, which is above the 800 kilowatt hours, Bahamians have an opportunity to plan better because you know what your average usage is. And one of the things that you'd see on your bill is your historical data. So you could compare month to month as to how your usage is increasing. And once you're able to get a handle on that, with the fuel charge being set, there should be less fluctuations on the fuel charge. However, your consumption still has to be managed effectively.
Right, and you already kind of gave a number of ways in which we all can do that.
Right.
And so you've done that. What are the long-term plans for investments? And obviously, again, you're in the middle of an energy reform, so that's happening, and it's happening nationwide, and so we know some islands desperately need it. But in terms of, listen, first of all, no load shedding, this summer?
No.
She'll be back. We'll talk some more. But yeah, long-term plans and investments.
So as Latrey mentioned, the energy reform that the government has rolled out, it includes utility-scale solar plants, I think 3 locations for New Providence, microgrids that include solar, battery, and generation on all of the family islands. So what that will do, and then of course the transition to LNG, so what that will do is it will stabilize rates in the next 18 to 24 months once these projects begin to come on stream. Right. So with solar, you're obviously using less fuel, which means that your fuel charge will be reduced.
Yes.
It's cleaner, it's greener, it's more efficient. And so those are some of the things in the short to medium term that will be coming on stream to improve our efficiency, our reliability, and our cost of electricity.
I tell you, households all around this nation will thank you dearly for that, because everybody wants a relief from their electricity bills in particular. But Latrey, I am happy I have you here. I will take the next few minutes. I have to ask you about this. Prime Minister Davis mentioned that, listen, in the public service, if you are the holdup, you see what she just talked about? Major projects like that happening, and any civil servant that is seen to be sort of hanging up and dragging their feet and standing in the way of progress will be asked to leave. Well, no sooner, a couple days later, it was announced that a senior officer of the Ministry of Works was fired. Can you explain what happened? And first of all, can you confirm it?
I think the Prime Minister in his comments last week at a PLP political event indicated that a senior government official was asked to produce a key government infrastructure initiative inconsistent with the government's timeline. And the Prime Minister made it very clear that if the deadline was not met, he expected the resignation. The Prime Minister also confirmed last week at that political gathering that resignation is on his desk. As you are aware, the government
so that individual tendered their resignation?
I can confirm that resignation has happened. The Prime Minister has made it very clear that he has a number of infrastructure projects. If you are aware of the Family Islands, persons like airports and docks and runways, when there are significant delays, that costs taxpayers a lot of money, and it costs the government to miss his key priorities and objectives. The Prime Minister made a number of promises to the Bahamian people as a part of his blueprint for change, and he intends on delivering those promises. He also made it very clear in his remarks last week that he will not hesitate to remove anyone who, or to hold them accountable, because there's a mechanism in the public service that will present themselves as an obstacle to the government's policies. So I can confirm that the conversation surrounding a resignation of a senior government official is absolutely true.
Well, I'll tell you that's good to hear, because as we hold the Davis administration accountable, it's good to know that you all are holding the people responsible for carrying out public works and public infrastructural projects accountable as well, because we can't waste this money.
You know, and the thing about it, the PM has a reputation of being a very quiet-spoken guy. He presents himself as a very fair person to give people a very fair opportunity. But I think 4 years in, I think the Prime Minister is very certain that he wants to deliver on his mandate. And I think that there are patterns historically of some bureaucracy and challenges, whether intentional or unintentional. But missing deadlines is something the Prime Minister has indicated that he will not tolerate.
Well, I'll tell you, as we talk about BPL bills and the summer months, and we know how they look and the rest of it, and then, of course, as this administration talks about a number of things, a livable wage, etc., well, the Free National Movement's youth arm, just over the weekend, I don't know if you were able to see this, but a news release was sent out stating that, listen, this administration, this Davis administration, among other things, is holding the Bahamian people's wages stagnant. Can you respond to that, Latre? And is this so? What do you do? What's being done to address wages?
I think the record of the government is very clear. I think one of the things that you've seen thus far is the first thing we've done coming to office was reducing the VAT. The government has increased the minimum wage. We've increased salaries for a number of government senior officials. We've reduced the backlog of public service significantly. The Prime Minister or the Minister of Public Service had indicated next month, following a wide-scale salary review, a number of government officers.
We heard an announcement recently, just
salaries increases
last week, about public service increases.
Yeah, and that's correct. And then we talk about reducing VAT on a number of items. But I think I have been given a very cautious expectation, not to delve into politics, but to understand that this administration has a very clear record of being on the right side of Bahamian people. You see, this is the first administration to implement a $10 million catastrophic plan to give Bahamian families to alleviate the cost of healthcare. This government has provided funding for organ transplant, and you see about 2 weeks ago that was the first kidney transplant in this country. So I think we have a record of being on the right side of Bahamian families. And as you can see with the energy reforms and the government's recent commitment and announcement with the summer rebate program, that the government will do its part to ensure that we protect Bahamian families during this cost of living crisis.
Well, one thing I don't think the Prime Minister expected was something that perhaps was said in jest, and that is asking the leader of the opposition, what does he do, and that he's a poet, something along those lines, that it turned into an all-out attack or assault on the orange economy. How does the Prime Minister feel about the orange economy, about creatives? I mean, does he have a disdain? Does he feel as though those people are just whiling away the time somewhere, hugging a tree?
I think the leader of the opposition made a political effort to mischaracterize the Prime Minister's comments. But the Prime Minister asked a simple question: what is the professional track record of Michael Pintard? The Prime Minister also said that it is clear that he is very sensitive about this issue. The Prime Minister has said that his record is clear, that he has done more for the creative industry in this country. For the first time, the Dundas has received funding, over $100,000 to repair the Dundas site, and they will have a consistent line item. The government is investing more than $1 million in a new school of creatives. So I think we've reduced the duties for artisans to bring in their products into the country. So the Prime Minister, and I would go as far as saying, one of the Prime Minister's senior policy advisors, Ian Poitier, who's one of this country's best creatives. And so very clear, this is a simple question the Prime Minister is asking Michael Pintard, and with every voter will ask him, what is his track record?
So there's no slight of people who perhaps show up differently in the corporate space?
Absolutely not. I think the Prime Minister is a friend of the creative industry, and his policies reflect that.
Well, Latre, I thank you very much. Of course, I wanted to ask you about, because the streets have been talking. The streets have been talking and saying that you have political interests. Do you, Latre, or do you aspire to maybe even, the chairmanship position in your political organization? I don't know if you want to come back and answer that. I had to ask it. I had to drop it there.
Rumors, and I'm sure if there's something, the Prime Minister will be the first person I tell.
Well, okay, but you know what? You got to come back and answer that question fully. I didn't quite get that. But you know, also Tony Seymour, I want to have you back as well for as many times as you want, especially in this shoulder period of the summer months, so that you can continue speaking to the Bahamian people, giving them good sound advice, and also just keeping us abreast of BPL's forward movement into total energy reform. I thank you also, Latre Raming, Office of the Prime Minister, for being here as well. And at the top of tonight's show, Leslie Miller and Garth Rosborough, thank you both very much as well. And then, of course, to all of you for tuning in this evening. I really enjoyed having you along and look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. We talk immigration tomorrow. You know, you all beat me up a couple of weeks ago when I had, immigration tomorrow evening. Until then, for the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.